source is called financial regulation.
Yun. So malinaw ang sinabi dito. So when you say financial activity sa financial markets, ano ba ibig sabihin? Di yun yung bentahan ng securities and buying and selling of securities and financial instruments. So ano ba yung financial instruments? Discuss na natin yon last time. So setting rules. So kasi nga ang heading nito is regulators of financial activities. So mag-set ka daw ng rules, standards, control and order on the financial activities regardless of the source is called financial activity regulation. So I think basic naman to. Self-explanatory. So ngayon, ano-ano ba kung Pinas ang pag-uusapan? Ano ba or sino-sino ba yung financial regulators sa Philippines? So andyan ang Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission. So sila ang nagre-regulate sa mga corporation. So Insurance Commission. So syempre sa mga insurance companies, sila ang nagre-regulate diyan. So Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So kung bangko naman ang pag-uusapan, sino nagre-regulate sa mga banks? Di Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP. PDIC, Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation. So syempre ito naman yung parang more on protection doon sa mga bank depositors. So Department of Finance, so branch ng government 'yan. So Philippine Stock Exchange, so kung ano naman, kung sa stock market. And Bureau of Treasury, sa Treasury market. So pakibasa nito. IKEA.
The BSP is created under the new central bank or secretary and an attached agency of the Department of Finance. Under this a monetary authority which acts as a corporate body that spending money credit. We shall provide policy directions in this. It is the supervision institutions and
Ayun. So medyo choppy si IKEA, no? So ulitin na lang natin. So kagaya ng binanggit ko kanina, so sino ba nagre-regulate sa mga banks? Di Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Nga pala, hindi natin lalahatin to, no? So anuhin lang natin yung mga big players or yung mga big financial regulators dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? So the BSP nga daw is created under the new Central Bank Act and attached agency daw siya ng Department of Finance. Okay, so under the Philippine law, so kagaya ng binanggit ko, siya yung nagre-regulate sa mga banks. So this will act as the Central Monetary Authority which will act as a corporate body that is responsible concerning money, banking, and credit. So yan yon. So as far as money, banking, and credit is concerned, BSP yung nagre-regulate sa kanila. So BSP shall provide policy directions in these areas. So more about money, banking, and credit, sila magpo-provide ng mga policies about them. So it is also responsible for the supervision. Ito, supervision ng financial institutions, mainly banks, and exercise regulatory powers. Sir, bank lang ba ang nire-regulate niya? So kagaya nga na sinabi dito, no? So corporate body that is responsible concerning money. Actually, hindi lang naman bank. So by definition, so siya yung parang pinaka regulator ng mga banks. Pero kagaya nga na binanggit dito, they are responsible concerning money, banking, and credit. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga app na ginagamit natin, GCash, Paymaya, and other brokers, lagi nilang sinasabi na ano bang term doon? Accredited. They are accredited by Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Regulated by Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So ito lang dagdag ano na rin. So sir, paano yung cryptocurrencies? So may mga nakikita ba kayo sa internet na mga nag-iinvest sa crypto? So when you say cryptocurrency, hindi siya sakop ng BSP. Pero yung mga brokers na bumibili ng cryptocurrencies, ano naman nila 'yan? Regulated naman nila 'yan. So anyway, sa future sa mga succeeding topics natin, mapapahapyawan natin yan. Okay, so functions of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So it's more of ano lang, more of maging familiar lang tayo sa pakibasa. Hanap tayo. Ni Risa. So ano-ano daw ba yung mga ginagawa ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas? Ni Risa.
The BSP formulates and implements monetary policy and implements money supply incentive, which is primarily objective to maintain price stability.
So okay, tama. Okay, stop na ano. Okay na ano ni Risa.
To issues, the national currency.
So yun, so medyo choppy si Nerissa, no? Pero sinabi dito, liquidity management, function siya ng Bangko Sentral. So the BSP formulates and implements monetary policy aimed at influencing money supply consistent with its primary objective and maintain price stability. So more about money lang ang tinutukoy dito sa liquidity management. So pangalawa, the BSP has the exclusive power to issue the national currency. Okay, so sila lang yung may karapatang mag-print ng pera. BSP lang. So kaya kung magkakaroon ng money heist dito sa Pinas, ano yung government agency or ano yung institution or saan sila, ano yung papasukin ni na professor diyan, edi yung BSP. So all notes and coins issued by BSP are fully guaranteed by the government and are considered legal tender for all private and public debts. So, ito nga, kagaya ng binanggit dito, they have the power to issue national currency. So, madaling sabi, they have the power to print money. So, all notes and coins issued by BSP are guaranteed by government. Okay? Guaranteed by government and are considered legal tender. So, when you say legal tender, ibig sabihin, valid siya na pangbayad for all private and public debts. So, kahit nga naman sino, hindi pwedeng basta lang mag-print. So ibig sabihin, ako halimbawa, meron akong money printing dito. Kaya kong gumawa ng sariling pera. So in theory, number one, kahit makagawa ako ng sarili kong pera dito, makapag-print ako ng sarili kong pera dito. So unang-una, illegal 'yon kasi I do not have the power to issue national currency. And pangalawa, hindi 'yun yung inisyu ko at inisyu ni BSP kahit parehas lang siyang 500 peso bill, kahit parehas ang itsura niya, yung issue ni BSP, fully guaranteed by the government yan and considered legal tender. Pero yung issue ko, hindi pwede yan makalusot pero hindi siya guaranteed ni government and hindi siya considered na legal tender or pambayad for all private and public debts. So kaya nga nakukulong yung mga nagpiprint ng sarili nilang pera eh. May mga napapanood ba kayo sa balita na na mga ni-raid na bahay or ni-raid na apartments kung saan parang ginagawa pala siyang printing ng money. Kasi ang ginagawa ng mga yan sa unang tingin yung pera na pinrint nila mukhang original. Parang mahirap i-distinguish lalo na kung sa palengke ka bibili na mabilisan. Nagmamadali yung mga tindera, titingnan pa ba nila kung valid yon, kung totoong 500 or totoong 1,000 peso bill yun. So syempre hindi na. So lender of last resort. So the BSP extend discount loans and advances to banking institutions for liquidity purposes. So ibig sabihin, kung yung mga banks pala and financial institutions, kung magkaroon sila ng problema, pwede silang manghiram sa BSP. Okay, so I think ito yung, so sino sa inyo nakapanood na nung Money Heist? So ito yung sinabi ni ni professor dito nung season 1. Yung inexplain niya kay Raquel Murillo nung mahuhuli na siya. Sabi niya, yung pera daw is lang siya, is papel lang naman talaga siya. Pero bakit yung mga mayayaman or yung mga financial institutions, ang dali nilang makuha yon? Kasi nga, pag nagkaroon ng problema, yung financial institutions, kayang-kaya nilang lumapit sa BSP, and the BSP can print money for them. So yun yung kaya sinasabi ni professor na we are not stealing anything, 'di ba? Wala daw silang ninanakaw kasi yun ngang yun ngang mga financial institutions kayang magkapera kayang magprint ng BSP para sa kanila eh. So, yun lang. So, financial supervision, na-share ko lang, ano. So, financial supervision, the BSP supervises banks and exercises regulatory powers over non-bank institutions performing quasi-banking functions. So, dito, sinusupervise din ito binanggit ko na kanina, nire-regulate nila yung bank. So, ano ba yung nire-regulate ni BSP? They supervises bank and exercises regulatory powers over non-bank. So, hindi lang pala bank. Pati mga non-bank or other financial institutions na hindi bangko pero nagpe-perform ng quasi-banking functions. So ano ba yung quasi-banking functions? Ito galing Google. So the term quasi-banking activities means borrowing funds from 20 or more personal or corporate lenders at any one time through the issuance, endorsement, or acceptance of debt for the borrower's own accounts, or through the issuance certificates of assignments or similar instruments with recourse or of repurchasing agreements for purposes of relending or purchasing receivable and other similar obligations. So ganun din, nag-a-accept sila ng pera galing sa mga borrowers. I mean galing sa mga depositor, parang ganun din. Pero ang ginagawa lang nila is, 'di ba ang bank ang ginagawa, kukuha ka ng pera sa mga depositor and in effect ipapaikot mo siya, ipapahiram mo din siya sa mga lenders naman or i-invest mo siya into other instruments. Pero dito naman sa quasi-banking activities, so ganun din, nagbaborrow sila ng funds or kumukuha sila ng funds sa 20 or more personal or corporate lenders, and ang kapalit na lang and through issuance, endorsement, or acceptance of debt of the borrower's own accounts, or through the issuance of certificate. So ang kapalit, mag-i-issue ka ng certificate of assignment or similar instrument. Okay? Ito pa, or of repurchasing agreements for the purpose. So ano ang purpose nila? Ba't ginagawa yon? Relending or repurchasing receivable and other similar obligations. So in effect, hindi sila bank pero ginagawa nila kung ano yung ginagawa din ng mga bank. Okay? So pero ito, tandaan natin na hindi considered quasi-banking activity yung ganito. Commercial, industrial, and other non-financial companies which borrow funds through any of these means for the limited purpose of financing their own needs. Ayun. So kung ang plano mo lang kaya ka kumukuha ng pera sa mga depositors or sa mga investor mo is ang plano mo lang para may pang-sustain ako ng operation. So hindi na quasi-banking activities yung ginagawa mo. Okay? So malinaw? Sino may tanong? So, teka, may chat. Wala. Ayun, so kung na-gets nyo naman, type gets. Ayun. So ito, continuation na rin tayo. Functions of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So the management of foreign currency reserves. So the BSP seeks to maintain sufficient international reserves to meet any foreseeable net demands for foreign currencies in order to preserve the international stability and convertibility of the Philippine peso. So BSP rin ang nagde-determine ng exchange rate. Okay, the BSP determines the exchange rate policy of the Philippines. Currently, BSP adheres to a market-oriented forex rate policy such that the role of BSP is principally to ensure orderly conditions in the market. So walang sino man ang pwedeng mag-set ng exchange rate kundi BSP lamang. Okay? So pero of course merong time na Sir, yung bang naka-post doon sa araw-araw kasi nababago yung exchange rate natin. Peso to dollar or peso to kung ano mang currency. Pero not necessarily yun din yung masusunod ng bank kung sakaling sa bank ka bibili ng dollar or what. Kasi syempre mas mataas ng konti pag sa bank. But syempre legal yon sa kanila. They can legally do that basta mayroon nga siyang nire-regulate pa rin naman siya ni BSP. Basta hindi sila sobra-sobra ng markup. So other activities, so BSP functions as the banker, financial advisor, and official depository of the government. Its political subdivisions and instrumentalities and government-owned and controlled corporations. So ito, meron tayong monetary board ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So ito, governor. So governor yung pinakamataas na posisyon sa Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So under na governor, andyan ang financial supervision sector, monetary economic sector, tsaka corporate services sector. So pakibasa nito, papasadahan na lang natin to, no? Tintin pabasa na lang. Monetary Board of BSP.
The powers and function of Bangko Sentral are exercised by its monetary board, which has 7 members appointed by the President of the Philippines. Under the new Central Bank Act, one of the government sector members of the Monetary Board must also be a member of the cabinet designated by the President.
Yun.
The new Central Bank
Sige lang, Tin.
The new Central Bank Act established certain qualification for the members of the Monetary Board and also prohibits members from holding certain position with other governmental agencies and private institutions that may give rise to conflicts of interest. With the exemption of the members of the cabinet, the governor and the other members of the monetary board serve terms of 6 years and may only be removed for cause. The monetary board meets at least once a week. The board may be called to a meeting by the governor of the Bangko Sentral or by 2 other members of the board. Usually, the board meets every Thursday, but on some occasion, it convenes to discuss urgent issues.
Yun. So, thank you, Tin. So, ano lang yan, So, more of ano ba yung ginagawa ng monetary board ng BSP. So, just familiarize yourself about that. Hindi naman kailangan sa uluhin yan. So, insurance commission. So, kagaya kung ang nagre-regulate sa mga banks and other financial institutions that performs quasi-banking functions ay Bangko Sentral. So, ang nagre-regulate naman sa insurance companies or sa insurance institutions ay Insurance Commission. So, pakibasa naman ito. Pat, nandiyan si Pat.
Pa.
Game, pakibasa. Insurance Commission.
Insurance Commission. IC is mandated by virtue of Executive Order number 192, 2015 to ensure enforcement of the provision of the Insurance Code or RA 10607. To regulate and supervise the insurance, pre-need and health maintenance organization industry. They are governed by Department of Finance and they issue licenses to insurance agents, general agents, resident agents, underwriters, brokers, adjusters, and actuaries.
Ayun. So, thank you. So, basta ang ano lang niya, so medyo mahaba ang definition niya, basta if it's more about regulation for the insurance companies, so Insurance Commission yung nagre-regulate sa kanila. So, ano ang common sa kanila ni BSP? They are both governed by Department of Finance and ito pa Insurance Commission yung nag-i-issue ng mga lisensya sa mga insurance agents, general agents, resident agents, underwriters, brokers, adjusters, and actuaries. So ano-ano ba yung functions? So basahin lang din natin to. Just familiarize yourself. So sino yung malakas sa internet, pwede magbasa. Breeze. Andiyan si Breeze.
So, pwede po akong magbasa.
Sige, game. Ikaw na lang.
Promulgation. Ano po ulit yung ano?
Functions of
Yung-
Insurance Commission.
Okay po. Functions of Insurance Commission. Promulgation and implementation of policies, rules, and regulations governing corporations.
So parang nawawala si Edison.
As well as benevolent features.
Ayun. So
Licensing up
Stop muna, Edison. So anuhan lang natin. So when it comes to implementation of policies about HMO activities, tsaka insurance pre-need, so gino-govern yan ni Insurance Commission. So when you say HMO, ang ibig sabihin nito yung mga, alam niyo mga Coco Life, Medicard, MaxiCare, yung mga pag nagkasakit ka, pwede kang magpa-check up ng libre or makuha mo ng libre yung ibang medical treatments. So yun yung mga HMO. Okay, so patuloy Edison, licensing.
Licensing of insurance, reinsurance companies, as intermediaries, mutual benefit associations, trusts, and for
Okay, so
Yes.
sige Edison, okay
HMO
na.
companies.
Okay na, thank
Okay.
you. So yun, so when it comes to licensing of insurance and reinsurance companies, so kanila pa rin yun. So conducting insurance agent examination. So syempre, kung sila yung nag-i-issue nung certificate or ng mga licenses ng mga insurance, ng mga financial advisors natin, so sila din yung magbibigay ng exam. Okay? So examination, verification of financial condition and methods of doing business of entities engaged in insurance business, mutual benefit association, trust, charitable uses, and HMO companies. Ay, ba't ganun? So evaluation and preparation of statistical reports, studies. So naputol, no? Ay, ito. Dito pala siya. So evaluation and preparation of statistical reports, studies, researches, annual reports, and position papers relative to insurance pre-need matters and HMO matters. So review of premium rates by life and non-life insurance companies, mutual benefits, statistical reports of adjusters to determine compliance with well-established standards. So adjudication of claims and complaints involving loss, damage, or liability incurred by an insurer under any kind of policy or contract of insurance or suretyship, and review and approval of all life and non-life policies pre-need and HMO. So so to state simply, basta insurance related, Insurance Commission yung nagre-regulate sa kanila, no? So ito naman, Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission. So ano sabi ko dito kanina, sila naman yung nag-govern sa mga corporation. So pakibasa, Kadasyo.
Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission, RSEC, a national government regulatory agency that administers oversight on corporate sector, capital market participants, and securities and investment instrument and promote corporate governance over this.
Ayun. So basta more about naman sa mga corporation, sino nag-govern sa kanila? Securities and Exchange Commission. So ito, pakibasa na lang din ito. Patuloy na lang, Kadasyo. So papasadaan lang natin to, no?
Responsibilities and scope of SEC per Republic Act 8799. A. Have jurisdiction and supervision over all corporations, partnership, and associations who are the guarantees of primary franchises and or a license or a permit issued by the government.
Yun. So,
D.
teka lang, So, ito, binanggit na. Jurisdiction and supervision over all corporations. So, yan yung partnership and association. So, yan yung keyword dyan. So patuloy.
D.
Adasyo.
Formulate policies and recommendations on issues Sir,
Sige lang.
hello po.
Okay. Pakituloy lang.
B. Formulate policies and recommendations on issues concerning the securities market, advise Congress and other government agencies on all aspects of the securities markets and propose legislation and amendments thereto.
Yun. So, formulate policies and recommendations daw about securities market. So, mag-advise pa sila sa Congress and government. So, sige, patuloy na rin.
C. Approve, reject, suspend, revoke, or require amendments to registration statements and registration and licensing applications.
Yun. Self-explanatory naman. Pakituloy lang.
D. Regulate, investigate, or supervise the activities of persons to ensure compliance.
Sige lang.
Letter E. Supervise, monitor, suspend, or take over the activities of exchanges, clearing agencies, and other SROs. F. Impose sanctions for the violation of laws and rules, regulations, and orders, and issued pursuant thereto. Letter G. Prepare, approve, amend, or repeal rules, regulations, and orders, and issue opinions and provide guidance on and supervise compliance with such rules, regulations, and orders.
Yun. So, ay, ang dami pa. Sige lang, pabasa na.
H. Enlist the aid and support and or deputize any and all enforcement agencies of the government, civil or military, as well as any private institution, corporate, firm, association, or person in the implementation of its powers and function under its code. I. Issue cease and desist orders to prevent fraud or injury to the investing public. J. Punish for the contempt of the Commission, both direct and indirect, in accordance with the pertinent provisions and of penalties prescribed by the rules of court. K. Compel the officers of any registered corporation or association to call meetings or stockholders or members thereof under its supervision.
Pakituloy lang, Abigail.
Issue sub na duces tecum and summon witnesses to appear in any proceedings of the Commission and in appropriate cases. Order the examination, search and seizure of all documents, papers, files, and records, tax returns, and books of accounts of any entity or person under investigation as may be necessary for the proper disposition of the cases before it, subject to the provision of existing laws. M. Suspend or revoke after proper notice and hearing the franchise or certificate of registration of corporations, partnership, or associations upon any of the grounds provided by law. And letter N. Exercise such other powers as may be provided by the law as well as those which may be implied from or which are necessary to incidental to the carrying out of the express powers granted the Commission to achieve the objectives and purposes of these laws.
Yun. So, thank you. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, ang dami niyan, Pero just read it and familiarize yourself. No need to memorize naman. Wala namang lalabas sa exam na enumerate ilan ba to? Kung ilan man yan, enumerate the functions of of Securities and Exchange Commission. So, syempre, hindi naman ganun. So, just familiarize yourself. So, ano ang makikita mong common denominator dito sa functions ng Securities and Exchange Commission? So, they are all related to the corporation. Yun lang. So, Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation, or kung sa US naman, pwede lalabas exam to, FDIC naman, Foreign Deposit Insurance Corporation. Yan ang tawag niya sa US. So, it was created, so sabi ko nga, dito sa atin, sa Pinas, PDIC, yung mga bank kasi is covered ni PDIC. Kung saan, pag nalugi yung bank, each depositor, ang goal kasi ni PDIC is to protect the clients of the banks. Ano, so kagaya nga kung meron kang 1 million sa bank. So kung malugi yung bank, manakawan yung bank or etc., PDIC will insure you 500k. Okay, so I'm not sure kung nabago na, no, pero the last time I checked, 500k per depositor yung ano niya, yung covered ni PDIC. So kung meron kang 1 million, sorry, 500k lang yung babalik sa iyo kung sakali na malugi or manakawan or kung mapaano si bank. So another question here is that, sir, paano kung meron akong 5 bank account? 5 bank account sa same bank. Okay, so meron po akong 5 bank account kay BDO Bank. Halimbawa lang, no? So meron akong payroll account dyan, meron akong savings account dyan, meron akong checking account dyan, na pag tinotal mo lahat yun, meron siyang 10 million. Okay, so tas nagkataon, nalugi yung bank. So how much yung sagot ni PDIC? So is it 500k or is it 5 million? Kasi meron kang 5 account. So the answer, according dun sa forum na nabasa ko, is that 500k only. Kasi kahit meron kang 5 account, you are just considered one depositor. Isang depositor lang yung bilang sa'yo. Nagkataon lang na meron kang 5 account sa kanila. Okay, so PDIC was created to prevent bank failures. So its existence encourages bank to take too much risk. So biruin mo, yung mga bank pwede na silang mag-take ng too much risk kasi nakaback naman sa kanila si PDIC. So kaya it encourages banks to take too much risk. So in US, it guarantees all deposit, not just those under 250 limit, when it uses purchase and assumption method. So yun daw yun sa US. So ano ba yung purchase and assumption method? Kasi meron kasing dalawa. Dalawa kasi yung method dyan. Una, meron kang payoff method as a resolution method for failed bank or thrift in which the FDIC directly pays the insured amount of each insured depositor, also known as a deposit payoff. So dito, sinasabi dito, sa US daw, lahat ng, it guarantees all deposit, not just those under 250 when it uses purchase and assumption method. So dito kasi, when you say payoff method, kung saan, kung magkaroon kung mag-fail si bank or malugi si bank, ibig sabihin, si PDIC or si FDIC, kung sa US, babayaran niya ng insured amount of each depositor. Okay, so dito 500k, sa US 250,000. So yun yung payoff. So when you say purchase and assumption method naman, ito yung sinasabi dito. So it guarantees all deposits, lahat. Hindi lang daw yung mga nasa 250 limit when it uses purchase and assumption method. So ano ba 'yon? Hindi lang siya limited sa 250, lahat na. Kung is a transaction in which healthy bank or thrift purchases assets and assumes liabilities including all insured deposits from an unhealthy bank or thrift. So anong nangyari, parang yung isang healthy bank, yung bank na hindi lugi, inabsorb lang niya yung naluluging bank. Okay, it is the most common and preferred method used by FDIC. Ay, correct ko yung sarili ko, no? Kanina sabi ko, Foreign Deposit and Insurance Corporation. So it is federal pala. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation yung meaning ng FDIC, to deal with failing banks. So insured depositors of the insolvent institution immediately become depositors of the assuming bank and have access to the insured funds. Yun. So, naiintindihan so far? May tanong? Raise a hand kung meron. Wala? Sino may tanong? So, kung nag-gets nyo, type I'm learning. Ano guys? Sino may tanong? So, kung natututo, type I'm learning. Ayun. So, last 2 minutes. So, last ano na natin. Sasend ako ng panibagong slide. I mean, panibagong link. So, last na yon. Patapos na tayo. Malapit na. So, send na ako ng panibago. 5-minute break, guys. Antayin ko lang din mag-save to recording.